How's it going, IO? In this video, we're going to talk about Amber Heard's public breakdown, the problem with Harry Styles' Grammy speech, and the massive Sam Smith controversy. First up, another Amber Heard video has resurfaced online recently, and this one features Raven Symone. She ran into her at a gas station while she was charging her Tesla, and she posted a clip of the moment on her YouTube channel. Raven was sitting with her wife Miranda in the car, and the two of them got excited when they spotted Amber right next to them. Raven said, "We are charging our Tesla right now, and I swear to God, the girl next to us right now is Amber Heard and her lesbian lover." Raven then turned around and asked her wife if she should get out of the car and greet her. She referenced a moment in the 2022 defamation trial and said, "Oh my God, say hi to Amber, cut my finger off and see if she'll claim it." The joke was about the explosive fight in Australia in 2015 that left Johnny Depp missing part of his middle finger. He had accused his ex-wife of hurling a bottle of vodka at him that shattered his hand. Raven then commented on the woman that Amber was with and said, "Oh my God, her girlfriend looks like Johnny Depp." At this point, the two of them are still in the car and they see that Amber starts screaming and crying on the phone, but they only laugh about it, and Raven says, "Is that a Chanel purse? No, it's YSL. Nice purse, Amber." The video then cuts out as Miranda turns around and tells the camera that she dared her wife to take a picture with Amber, but that led her to getting locked out of her own Tesla. Apparently, when the actress went back to her car, it was locked with her phone inside, her purse inside, and her jacket. But did Raven stick around and help her out? Surprisingly, no, they just laughed about it. The former View host then turned to the camera and said, "Amber, I am so sorry you got locked out of your car, but my picture is amazing." She pointed to a selfie of the two of them at the top of the screen. The funniest part about this was that Amber apparently had no idea who Raven was when she asked to take a photo with her. So far, the video has around 5 million views on YouTube and counting, not to mention the fact that the comments are hilarious. One person wrote, "Not someone with a 5-minute career not knowing an OG with decades-long career. This was also hilarious." And getting the selfie was just a savage receipt. But this wasn't even the first time that Raven and Miranda poked fun at the actress. During the trial, the two of them made it abundantly clear that they supported Johnny Depp by posting parodies of the court proceedings. They posted numerous reenactments of the trial, including one about Amber's tendency to face the jury while offering up non-answers. In one of the TikTok videos, Raven plays the role of Johnny's attorney, and she pulls up a photo from evidence featuring Winnie the Pooh and Piglet. She says, "3 people have already testified that this is a picture of Winnie the Pooh and Piglet. Are you saying that they're lying, Miss Heard?" In response, Miranda channels Amber when she says, "I can't answer that question without the metadata. If you show me the metadata, I might be able to tell you when that photo was taken." But all jokes aside, there have been lots of videos of the actress resurfacing recently, like the one on TikTok when a user by the name of Bernardo Triana shared a video dancing with her. Amber looked really happy with her signature red lipstick as she swayed her hips to the music. The video quickly went viral and was viewed over 11 million times in less than 48 hours. It was taken in Guatemala and she was dancing with a young member of the film crew from the movie In the Fire. The movie is currently in post-production with no release date listed on IMDb. But if you're wondering what she's been doing in the 8 months since the trial ended, Amber is reportedly living in Mallorca, Spain, with her daughter and her rumored partner Bianca Butti. So clearly she's trying to live a more low-key life and put the events of last year behind her. Next up, why is Harry Styles catching a lot of heat all of a sudden? Well, it has something to do with what he said at the Grammys. Over the weekend, he won Album of the Year on his album called Harry's House, which was one of the 3 awards that he took home on that night. When he came up to the stage to accept his prize, he said, "I've been so inspired by every artist in this category with me, and at a lot of different times in my life. I listen to everyone in this category when I'm alone. I think on nights like tonight, it's obvious it's so important for us to remember that there's no such thing as best in music. I don't think any of us sit in the studio making decisions based on what is going to get us one of these. This is really kind. I'm so grateful. This doesn't happen to people like me very often, and this is so nice. Thank you very much." So which part of that speech rubbed viewers the wrong way? Can you guess? Well, it was the part where he said receiving an award doesn't often happen for people like him. And while it's not exactly clear what he meant by saying people like me, a lot of fans became critical of those comments. The speech sparked a big reaction online along with a series of viral tweets. One user wrote, "This doesn't happen to people like me very often. You are literally a white man." In response, another person wrote, "Like you're British and white. This happens to you all the time." Another user tweeted, "5 women in the Album of the Year category, 3 of them women of color, and the white cis male winner gets up and says, 'This doesn't happen to people like me very often.'" Someone else wrote, "Harry Styles says this doesn't happen to people like me very often. And I gotta be honest, I can't think of a type of people this happens for more." Although there were also those who defended his choice of words and argued that he was actually referring to the struggles that he went through during his childhood. Someone said, "Not everything is related to race. He was literally referring to growing up in a small town where most people don't get to live the life that he's got now. He was was just being grateful. Harry's win came as a surprise to some people because both Beyonce and Bad Bunny were considered top contenders going into the night, not to mention Adele, who was also up for a possible repeat win. Now, there's no doubt that his third studio album Harry's House was successful. It debuted at #1 on the Billboard charts and included his hit song As It Was, which stayed at #1 on the charts for 15 consecutive weeks. But a lot of the backlash surrounding his comments were actually about the fact that the Grammys have long been criticized for excluding people of color. In 2020, The Weeknd slammed the awards ceremony and called it corrupt after he received 0 nominations for his song Blinding Lights, despite the fact that it was clearly the year's biggest hit single. He told Variety, "The trust has been broken for so long between the Grammys organization and artists that it would be unwise to raise a victory flag. I remain uninterested in being a part of the Grammys, especially with their own admission of corruption for all these decades. I will not be submitting in the future." Since then, a growing number of prominent artists have declined to submit their work for consideration. Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak told Rolling Stone last year, "We would like to gracefully, humbly, and most importantly sexually bow out of submitting our album this year." Then in 2022, Drake also withdrew his name from the awards after the nominations were announced, despite having 4 nods as a featured artist or writer this time around. He claimed that the disconnect between the Grammy Awards and popular music was making the accolade insignificant. He said, "I think we should stop allowing ourselves to be shocked every year by the disconnect between impactful music and these awards, and just accept that what was once the highest form of recognition may no longer matter to the artists that exist now and the ones that come after." Drake also called out the Academy's questionable track record with hip-hop and artists of color, all during his acceptance speech in 2019. He said, "You've already won if you have people singing your songs word for word, if you're a hero in your own hometown. Look, if there's people who have regular jobs who are coming out in the rain, in the snow, spending their hard-earned money to buy tickets to come to your shows, you don't need this right here. I promise you, you already won." But obviously the Academy was not too happy with what he had to say, and they quickly decided to cut to commercial before he even finished speaking. But obviously some people believe that we should stop putting the Grammys on such a pedestal and viewing it as the highest musical accolade that artists can achieve. But Harry Styles was not the only artist to spark controversy during this year's Grammys. Sam Smith and Kim Petras delivered a satanic-themed performance, and it had a lot of conservative commentators in a panic. The two singers did a rendition of their hit song Unholy, and they really went all out with it. Sam started the song in red leather with a top hat and red devil horns, while being surrounded by female dancers in red robes that seemed like something out of The Ring. Kim was dancing in a cage, of course, and she was getting flanked by some dominatrices wearing satanic headgear. There were massive flames heating up the stage to evoke the image of hell. But what really got people angry was the fact that the performance was sponsored by Pfizer. After the ceremony, conservatives on Twitter reacted with horror because they believed it was an actual tribute to Satan. Senator Ted Cruz weighed in on the performance and said, "This is evil. Pfizer is taking the whole truth in advertising pretty literally." Newsmax's Benny Johnson said, "The Grammys have gone full-on Satan worship right on Prime TV." Ben Shapiro also voiced his opinion and tweeted, "The Grammys' annual trolling of traditionally moral people continued this year with a full-on satanic performance from 2 white men, Sam Smith and Kim Petras." Human Events editor Ben Q also believed that the whole thing was intended to pay tribute to the Lord of Darkness. He wrote, "I know we on the right probably use the word satanic too often, but this performance from Sam Smith is literally a tribute to Satan, definitely not a spiritual war." But apart from the obvious, there could have been another reason for that theme as well. When asked about their rendition backstage, Kim Petras said that it was inspired by not feeling accepted by religion. She said, "I think a lot of people honestly have kind of labeled what I stand for and what Sam stands for as religiously not cool. And I personally grew up wondering about religion and wanting to be a part of it, but slowly realizing it didn't want me to be a part of it." She went on to say that the song was about the fact that she was not able to choose religion and live the way that people wanted her to live. She explained that as a trans person, she doesn't feel like she is wanted in religion. This is something that she also spoke about during her acceptance speech when she and Sam won the Grammys for Best Pop Group Performance earlier in the evening. She said, "Sam graciously wanted me to accept this award because I'm the first transgender woman to win this award. I just want to thank all of the incredible transgender legends before me who kicked these doors open before me so I could be here tonight. As 2 queer musicians, the 2 of them have set a historical precedent for the LGBTQ community after reaching #1 on the Hot 100 chart for their collaboration." But ever since they came out as non-binary in 2019, Sam Smith has faced an intense amount of backlash, especially with the release of their new music video I'm Not Here to Make Friends. The video pushed a lot of boundaries by celebrating different body types, genders, and sexuality, but the pushback largely targeted Sam for being too sexual. The video starts with them wearing an enormous pink coat, arriving at a remote castle by helicopter. Once inside, dancers and drag drag queens surround them for a series of routines. One scene in particular that upset a lot of people shows Sam in a corset and nipple tassels, posing suggestively while being showered with jets of water. When the video released, it took YouTube by storm, and it flew to the top of the trending chart. It wasn't long before Sam was trending on Twitter too, with a lot of posts calling the video vulgar and saying that it was inappropriate for younger viewers. YouTube's restricted mode then actually blocked the video. Sadly, a lot of negative comments seemed to body shame the singer, and they came across as anti-LGBTQ. They accused Sam of being vile, evil, and wearing their sexuality like a costume and shoving it in everyone's face. There was also some pretty crazy memes created of them poking fun at their changing gender identity, one that showed the change in their appearance from the years 2014 to 2023. But it didn't take long for their fans to fight back. Many people pointed out that the risky outfits are normal in modern music videos, and the only reason Sam was being singled out was because of fat phobia and queer phobia. Writer Mae Murray summed it up in a tweet saying, "If Sam were thin, cis, and straight, they wouldn't be ridiculed for how they present and dress. If Harry Styles wore the same fits on a magazine cover, y'all would be screaming, 'Yes, queen.'" So what do you think about the singer's transformation over the years? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.